luxury. Huh? Luxury. Ha, ha. They can't with me. Slow it. I ain't finna stop till they make the rap blow it. Shout out, yeah, she was with me at my lowest. Best baby daddy in the world, and you know it. I thought that I was done, he said hop back in. Made it to the league, this is not Pac-10. Headline set, that's a big back end. Let the beat drop, bring that back in. Fresh out the beta game in my jeans. Blap, slap, what do that mean? It mean that banging. Had my hand out, let me hang it. These no can't with me. If I do a song with you, that's a luxury. If Hit Boy work with you, that's a luxury. Don't step on my Crocs, these luxury.
Won't I bet your be on the floor? Big carbon here like Mayweather. Tula come through and blow up. Got millions out there rap. They hate her, but they stole the flow. Got back in after back in coming. I stole the show. Don't run up on that. She a head case. All she do is shoot. I signed my deal up on the PJ and hopped out a parachute. I'm geeked on next week. About no more features. I might just stir at you. I'm geeked on next week. About no more features. I might embarrass you. Yeah, glow. Stomp a little with some shell toes. Yeah, glow. Slapping, rapping, making bail. Yeah, glow. Two-tone Cartier match the nails. Yeah, glow. No competition, these stale. Yeah, glow. Curbing, no curbing, my layers. Yeah, glow. Say they get money, but I can't tell. Yeah, glow. Keep running circles around these snail. Yeah, glow. And my bumping up in the jail. On the big glow, where you been at? Mine, everywhere I'm working hard. Maybach and G-Wagon truck. Got M&M's in my garage. Quick to crank up on the you. Better not get me started. Locked in with the gangsters and players. My folks gon' keep it solid. Everything I got on new, it look like I got renovated. I'm cocky when I was just humble, they didn't appreciate it. Young, wealthy, and ratchet, I'm the hood motivation. On top of the world now, they tried to underestimate me. Get 'em, glow. Them fraudulent, you know you the truth. Get 'em, glow. Stop overthinking, these can't with you. Get 'em, glow. Standing on business in these Chanel shoes. Before I let her play with me, I'll go eat some jail food on God. Yeah, glow. Stomp a little with some shell toes. Yeah, glow. Slapping, rapping, making bail. Yeah, glow. Two-tone Cartier match the nails. Yeah, glow. No competition, these stale. Yeah, glow. Curbing, no curbing, my layers. Yeah, glow. Say they get money, but I can't tell. Yeah, glow. Keep running circles around these snail. Yeah, glow. And my bumping up in the jail. On the yeah, glow. Yeah, glow.
I came in nothing but some raps, the clothes on my back, them L-dogs, nothing but the blacks, the A, with a black man is debonair. I'm talking about a black man's heaven here. Shorty, we going where the destination is manifested. We learn how to collect reparations and invest it. I went from dressing the coldest to catching the...
One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport, Soldier Field in Chicago.
Cairo Santos to kick off for Chicago.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Right to the air is Daniels. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. He'll fire deep, looking for more. Touchdown! DJ Moore, 55 yards. And the Commanders are on the board here first in the season opener. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And able to get this out to the 25. To throw, Williams. Oh, his first throw of the season is intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Boy, Charles, a lot of action right out of the gate. The two teams barely off the buses. We've already had the touchdown and now the interception.
Yeah, whatever happened to the feeling out process? You know, kind of throw a few jabs out there, kind of circle the ring a little bit. Both of them throwing haymakers right out of the gate. And the second one was an interception that may cost them.
Daniels looking to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a... Defensively, they have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Now their versatile running back. Here's Austin Eckler. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. To throw is Daniels. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. T.J. Edwards. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points. But that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Williams. That's complete. Rome Odunze. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he works free. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
To the air, Williams. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far on this drive. This offense on the march.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. Swift will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
To the right side, and he's got more, complete.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call through the offensive coordinator. You like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. This is taken at about the 14. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. from the 41. Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing is Williams. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. Brock Bowers, 38 yards. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
On play action, here's Williams. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now Daniels. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The end result, 21 yards. Throwing now is Daniels. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Commanders are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. The extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Looking to throw is Williams. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To the air goes Daniels. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
19 tight, 19 tight.
To throw, it's Williams. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Daniels. This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now this offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels. And yet again, it's McLaurin. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Working out of the gun, Daniels. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Back to throw. Williams. Open man down the field. That's Odunze. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Rome Odunze. 60 yards. And the Bears come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Santos with the extra point, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Daniels. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Daniels. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
On 4th down, here's Daniels. Oh, first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Tyreek Stevenson picks it off. And the Bears will take over possession here up at the 44. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They'll go. Here's Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Hey, nothing to see here, just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Hey, check that. Alert.
A handoff, Swift running to the left. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 54 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Swift. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
At the 5-yard line.
And now an audible here into something else. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Touchdown Bears! Cole Kmet, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bears are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And this is going to be a Commander's first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Second down and a little more than a yard here. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. The offense on third down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's more. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to have a Commander's first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Commanders are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Let's go.
Working out of the gun, Williams. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
To throw, Williams. Being chased out left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25.
Well, they're not going to go quietly. That's a big play right there. 2 scores down. They're not out of this, but they've got to move.
All 3 timeouts still remain. Keep that in mind. They prefer to use them on the defensive end. But here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Williams. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Commanders are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1 and one of our early window games here in Week 1.